we're going to move on to the next topic, which is GST processing lah. Okay, so topic number 11, or is it 12? Let me see. Topic number 12, GST. Okay, so for GST processing, done on a quarterly basis, the place you need to be at is under report also, but this time is under tax. This is GST processing is to me lah, is a form of closing also, but this one you don't see under adjustment closing. It's just under report tax and then GST. So just like the financial reports, the interface at first you can refresh and then have a quick preview. In this case, there's a GST output, GST input, and GST input is allowed to get your total GST payable for the quarter that you have selected over here. Yeah, but for further reporting, the report button is here with other reports available here. Just now when I was covering non-trade payment voucher, I was saying the GST listing reports, and we was referring to GST sales and GST purchase because there are 4 listing reports here under purchase, 4 listing reports under sales. Yeah. And then for GST processing, the one you need to focus on is these two. Firstly, and I really mean firstly, detail report. And then this is the one that you use for checking, because this report, what it does is it splits into different segments lah. It will split your reports here into output text and input text. And within the output text itself, you see there's a total output here. It will split into the different text codes. For my case, with the examples that we did today, only use one text code. So like that. Actually hold on. Maybe today's one got more. I just need to set the correct year and period. So let's take July to September print. Okay, yeah. So we got input, output. Okay, but we don't have any different text codes inside output itself. Okay. Maybe my one was under non-exempt supplies. Nope. Okay, yeah. So this way you can do checking, especially for output text. Output text being the GST that you collect from your customer on behalf of IRAS, but you need to return to IRAS. Yeah. So these are usually incurred from invoices that you bill to your customers, and then as a GST registered company, usually every invoice you bill out is should have a tax code. So and usually it's the same tax code, standard rated. So what you can do here is you look for the pattern. Invoice 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There should be a consistent pattern in the running number. If there's something missing, then that's when you can be alerted to go and check the document to make sure it is missing for a valid reason, not because you have forgotten to select the text code. Yeah. So that is one way you can do a checking. Also take note, even if you're the person doing the GST, in charge of the GST submission and GST locking, the checking, right, can also be delegated to other people, and it can become a team effort to help with the checking lah, although the submission is done by one person. So something like depends how you want to split it. You can split by, if it's not so much output tax one person, input tax one person, or if let's say there's a weird ratio of output tax is double, then more people check on output tax, or you can even split further to someone check the entire list for one tax code. Oh yeah. And then only after you have checked through the detailed report, you are sure that this period everything is correct, no more amendments to be made. That's when you can generate the form 5. And then this one is where you can reference to help you to fill in the GST Form 5 for submission. Yeah. But the reason why we're not checking this first is because all these boxes here, we can see it is nicely tabulated and formulated according to every box that you need to fill in. The number very nice, but you cannot see any details from here. You cannot do any checking, and yeah, from here you cannot. There cannot be any red flags to let you know that okay, this number doesn't look right. This number is missing one transaction. Yeah, so that's why we need a detailed one to see every individual transaction to be able to figure to ensure for checking purposes lah to see if there's anything wrong. So with that done, you have submitted the F5, and right after you submitted, actually no, right before you submit, you should post GST for this period. Okay. So since I still need to do some examples over here, I'm just gonna put no first. I'm just gonna show you the locking, what it's like for the an earlier period of April to June. Okay. Post, and then that period is locked. I also like to bring up that a common mistake that so that you guys don't repeat the mistake. A common mistake that people in the past have been doing, especially when we were transitioning from the different GST processing rules, is they refuse to post GST because the system actually doesn't. It allows you to proceed with the next period transactions and all that, even if you have done a submission, they don't force you to post GST. Some people they go through multiple submission periods without posting because they are afraid of the lock. So the lock in the system actually is not meant to be feared. It is meant to help you, yeah, so that your whatever you have submitted to IRAS will stay in sync with whatever's in the system. That is why you only lock post and lock when you submit. So what people are scared of is even though I'm submitting GST right now, but if I were to post it, then the system locks it, and I want to make some changes. I cannot make changes. The system doesn't allow it, and that is actually for their own good lah. Because if you were to make changes, then it becomes out of sync with whatever is submitted to IRAS, and something any changes you made to that period is actually not meant to be hidden. It's not meant to be hidden away lah. Actually, because of whatever changes you make, especially things that affect the submission amount, is meant to actually be made up for in the next submission. So let's say in this period that I'm submitting, right, I forgot to key in one invoice. So the GST return, the payable is actually $5 more than what I have submitted, and and I failed to, should not failed to, and I failed to post the period. So I just go ahead and enter in the document. But what that does is if I enter in the document, then it's going to be included in that submission period, even though it was not actually included in my actual tax return to IRAS. Yeah. So then there is mistake number one. But to carry on for the next period, right? The system will still calculate the next period submission amount, but it's going to exclude the $5 that is rightfully supposed to be there, the $5 so-called extra that you failed to submit last month, that is now able to write on with the following month submission, not month, for following quarter submission. But the system is not going to be able to facilitate that because you did not dutifully post the GST when you were supposed to. So why it doesn't do that is because when you post a click post here, then system will officially recognize, okay, this person has done the tax submission, tax return for that period. So I cannot include anything inside a submission that's already been done lah. Yeah. So the earliest it can do for you is include it in the next submission. But if you never post, the system thinks, okay, no matter how late it is, this person never post, so I trust that they have not submitted. So even if they're going ahead with the late submission, I can still include it here lah, because they're going to submit it, still going to submit it, right? So this is the earliest submission they can do, the one that they haven't posted. So then if you do something like that, then you prevent the system from being able to help you to calculate and make any corrections law. Yeah. And also eventually you will have to post even, but when the longer people delay before posting, right, the more mess they have to clean up, before they can post one by one. Okay, so actually that is all for this GST topic, GST closing, sorry, GST processing.